to say, you want to jump in with some questions?
Just one question. The chat is talking about Aristide.
Mm-hmm.
Is Aristide is that conversation helpful or important right now? Where is
It is, because only in the sense that Aristide really hasn't, his political party, although they constitute one of the 7 members of the presidential council nominated by by CARICOM, but Aristide really doesn't get involved in the political process nowadays. His political party is basically under the operation of Dr. Maurice Narcisse. So he really doesn't get involved so much in the political process. His whole focus is on his university. Once in a while, he'll come out with some commentary, but he really is not involved. But his Femi Lavalas is one of the members of the 7-member presidential council.
Okay, so he is represented, sort of.
His party, yes, sort of. But his party, since his ouster, has moved to center. I'll say center left. It's not as radical as it was when he first came out. It's more along the lines of the professional managerial class. They're more inclined to work with the international community. So it's more center left than it is left. But yes, his party is represented.
Okay, just wanted to ask that. Pascal?
So the main question I wanted to ask you, Paul, is that who exactly are financing these gangs? Who has the capacity to finance them, and who is orchestrating their ability to buy weaponry and get guns that would be having to come from the United States, quite frankly?
Oh, absolutely. There's no gun manufacturing plant in Haiti. So, and what you have to understand about politics in Haiti, and this goes back to the revolution. Every political player in Haiti has their own gang, and it's the oligarchy that supports that finance. And you have to understand. I was listening to Ezo give a commentary. He was being interviewed on Haitian television, and he said the following: when they run out of guns, they go to the ports, and basically the Haitian oligarchy gives them guns and to do what they got to do. So most of the gang members, although Kim Ives will exclude Jimmy Cherizier from that, but when you look at some of the guns these brothers are carrying, there's no way these weaponry did not come from the U.S. and other major players in the area, including Canada, France, the Haitian oligarchy. And when you look at Guy Philippe, Moïse Jean-Charles, all of these political leaders, they all have their own entourage and their own gang members that basically supports them and sponsor, or they sponsor through they fund. So, the crisis in Haiti, the gang crisis in Haiti is a socio-political economic crisis. You have poor young men with no other opportunities, because most of these NGOs, they focus on women and young girls, and there's nothing for these young brothers to do, and the only solution is guns and drug dealing and rapping and glorifying bling bling. When you look at some of the videos that Ezo posts, so it's no different from the same crisis that plagued the American ghettos in the 80s and 90s, brother.
So would you argue that this phenomenon of these, and I heard Jamila Pierre recently say that she would not call them a gang, she would actually call them paramilitary forces, because they have much more sophisticated weaponry than typical gang members, and many of them are actually high-ranking police or military officials. That these paramilitary forces go back to the tradition of Haitian politics of when basically rival factions had to support underground militias in
Yes,
order to maintain
absolutely.
their territory
Absolutely.
from the Singlando in the 19th century to, I mean,
The Tonton Macoute under Duvalier. And then we got to understand, let's be frank. We do have some gangsters. Ezo, I would classify as a gangster. His whole modus operandi is glorifying women, sex, drugs, and the bling bling. And then you do have some paramilitary forces hired by the Haitian oligarchy to protect their interests. And then you have people like Jimmy Cherizier who claim to be fighting a proletarian revolution, and he's got to topple the government and redistribute the wealth amongst the ghettos. So I would say all three. You have all three aspects of gangsterism is involved here. So I'm not where Kim Ives is. I'm not celebrating Jimmy Cherizier as this revolutionary leader along the lines of Lenin. I don't see that yet. But many of the Vive Ensemble, what he did to topple the Haitian government, him and Guy Philippe, for me that was revolutionary because they took over all of the major institutions in Port-au-Prince and refused to allow Dr. Henri to arrive, although they backed off when the U.S. Marines arrived to protect the American embassy. So the revolutionary movement only goes so far.
isn't it very possible that this character Guy Philippe that we're talking about, who was pretty much ex-convict, some would argue a treasonous member who tried to overthrow an elected official when the Aristide administration was in power, that he can be nothing but a puppet agent of the state in terms of being supported or being allowed to rise as a kind of agent provocateur or agent provocateur within the context of Haitian society to really facilitate a justified entry of more brutal military forces.
It could be, brother. I won't get into the conspiracy theory. His rhetoric is one thing on the island. I don't know what happened to him in prison, but it's been documented that he was on the CIA payroll and was backed by the CIA to topple the Aristide government. That's one of the revelations of the WikiLeaks reports. Now, the question becomes, did he antagonize the U.S. when he revealed some of this situation prior to him running for senator of Jérémie, which caused the U.S. to go and basically kidnap him and incarcerate him? Now, I don't know what transformation took place with this brother while he was in prison, but on his return to Haiti, he's talking about this revolutionary movement to topple the government, to confront American imperialism, to confront the core group. That's the rhetoric he's bringing onto the island. Now, should we take that at face value? I'm not sure. He does have a huge following in Port-au-Prince. He outside of Port-au-Prince. He's from the southeast of the country, the southern part of the country. So he has a huge following there. With the backing of Jean-Charles Moïse and Petit Dessalines, that gives him a foothold in the northern department. And now he's partnered with Jimmy Cherizier in the ghettos and the gangs that constitute Vive Ensemble. So that makes him a force to reckon with. Now, how will the core group and this presidential council, if it's allowed to take place, how will they deal with it with Guy Philippe's emerging stardom? That's got to be a new issue, brother. I think there'll be confrontation. I do not believe they'll allow the presidential council to take hold. So this is trying times. I think before it gets better, it's got to get worse.
Do you talk about the role of the Kenyan military and how exactly they've been solicited to come and get involved, as well as some islands like Barbados and others as well?
Well, and one of your chat, there was a question in the chat about where's the Haitian military, where's the Haitian police force. Well, that's the problem. The gang members have military equipment, but the Haitian state, because it has been so neutered under neoliberal policy, that it doesn't have the fund to fund the police, the fund under Jovenel Moise. There was an attempt to reconstitute the Haitian military, but given the lack of funding by the government, there's not enough money for equipment. So when Dr. Henri was appointed as prime minister, there was an attempt to solicit the U.S. initially and the core group to assist the Haitian police with combating the gang issue in Haiti. So Dr. Henri actually requested that Marines be sent, as well as that Canada send some paramilitary forces in France. But all three refused. So initially, or they all three said they would not send any forces into Haiti, given that they're dealing with the issue of Ukraine, dealing with the issue of Israel. So the next, the alternative was to get CARICOM to send members to a paramilitary force or some sort of force to assist the Haitian police force. And CARICOM initially, Bahamas agreed, Barbados agreed, Jamaica agreed to constitute a police force, but that fell flat on its face. And the second solution was proposed by Kenya, which, as we all know, is a colonial outpost of the British in the U.S. So they agreed. The United States would foot the bill. Initially, it was $100,000. They recently doubled it to $100 million. They initially doubled it to $300 million to have the Kenyan military quasi special mission to assist the Haitian police to combat some of the gang issue in Haiti. Now, the Kenyan parliament voted against that, and because there was no agreement with Haiti, no political agreements with Haiti, so that took a back seat. And this is why Dr. Henri flew over to Kenya to agree to some sort of political agreement to have this contingency force sent to Haiti to combat some of the gang issue. But all of this is America and the core group using people of color to promote their neoliberal imperial policies, brother. The same thing they're doing in Rwanda and the Congolese. They're using Rwanda to attack the Congo. So everywhere, this is what's happening in Haiti, in Kenya, and CARICOM. It's just America using its proxies to basically subdue the Haitian fight for independence.
What do you think kind of commentary do you think that makes about the state of Pan-Africanism in the world that Kenya can be dispatched that way?
Oh, brother, don't get me started on Pan-Africanism, man. I think in the U.S., Pan-Africanism died with the Black Panther Party and the dismantling of the Black Panther Party under COINTELPRO. On the international scene, as Fanon pointed out, with the appointment of a comprador bourgeoisie to serve as mediator between the former colonial powers and the populace of these emerging independent countries, basically quelled the whole Pan-African movement, centered on not only Pan-Africanism, but trying to synthesize Pan-Africanism with socialism. So if you're trying to understand Pan-Africanism today, is basically a form of racial vindicationism synthesized with Black bourgeois capitalism. So you have a comprador Black bourgeois class who racially vindicates itself through its success in Western institutions, and while basically subduing their population to basically serve as a lumpen proletariat for capitalism and imperialism. So there's no what we're I'll say Haiti, Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger are the only, and Eritrea, of course, are the only African countries trying to promote a Pan-Africanism centered on socialism, a Pan-Africanism that dates back to the revolutionary movement from 1950 to 1970. Outside of that, brother, you have South Africa is a paragon of contemporary Pan-Africanism under neoliberalism. The ANC became a black bourgeoisie in control of the state and basically neoliberalized the state and used their population as a lumpen proletariat for capitalist businesses. And that's what's happening in Haiti today.